Good evening. We are going to make a card this evening. I had to design the cards that we were going to do for our Easter cards for our homebound people at church. And so I thought, you know what? I'll just go ahead and do a video while I'm at it. So good evening. Hope all of you are doing great. This is a Sunday evening and there was no football today. I was watching ice skating, so it was just a good lazy afternoon, but at least we thawed out. We're not in the ice and snow anymore. So today I'm going to make a card it could be an Easter card, it could be sympathy card, it could be whatever you wanted it to be card, but I am putting a cross on it. So you wouldn't have to necessarily have a religious saying sentiment or anything like that, but I am putting a cross on it because it is going to be our Easter card. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up the edges of this pattern paper. This pattern paper, I just got it at Hobby Lobby. I hadn't seen it before, and it was on sale for 17 cents. And I don't know why I hadn't seen it before, because I think it's pretty. But it's got the brick kind of mixed media background, the roses. I know I've got this on a really small screen, so you're probably not seeing it, but it's really pretty. It's got pink and almost a little pale aqua in the gray, so it's really, really pretty. And I thought, well, that'll make a pretty background for this, just a real obscure background. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to ink the edges. I'm using hickory smoke to ink the edges, and let's just get that done. I think it needs something to set it apart a little bit from that pink that we're going to do. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the twist here at the very, very beginning while I'm inking these edges. It's just a real short twist tonight, but I chose the scripture from Matthew 12:36, and it says, "But I say unto you, that every idle word that man shall speak, they shall shall give account thereof in the days of judgment." And I thought, that's a good reminder to us that we just don't have freedom to say anything we want to. As I get older, I say sometimes I get a little more brave with the things I say, but we do not have the right to let our mouths get away from us, to let our mouths hurt people, to gossip, to say hurtful things to our children, to our spouse, to our friends, to strangers. It doesn't matter. We're going to be held accountable for that. So kindness and gentleness and just holding our tongue sometimes and not always saying exactly what we think, filtering before we say things, is actually biblical. So the next time we want to just let our mouth spout out, we need to think first. So I've got that all inked, and it does really separate it from that kind of pale pink, because the pinks are in here. I could have done the aqua, but I really liked the pink and gray, and so I'm going to actually use 2 tones of gray in some of the embellishments, and then use this dark gray for my cardstock. Try not to make this video too long tonight. I pretty well have in my mind what I want to do, I think. So get this card base out of the way so I can maybe get this on here fairly straight. We live in the country, and my son just called me, and we have some hens, some laying hens, but they've gotten old, and we're down to about 3, and we like to have 15 or so. And he had actually found some. They're so expensive right now because eggs are so high, everybody's thinking about buying chickens. So I'm using just a dark gray card base. My card is just an A2. It's just 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then the pink layer is 4 by 5 1/4, just with those edges like that. I want to go ahead and put those layers together so that we can start building the embellishments on our card. But anyway, he had gone to pick those chickens up and had just gotten home, so maybe we'll start getting some more eggs again and not have to buy those ridiculously high eggs at the grocery store. And he has two little boys, a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old, and he wanted them to, we've got a little incubator, and he wanted them to maybe raise some little chicks and just have the experience of that process. Okay, so we've got our card put together, our panels. This one is 3 3/4 by 5, so I just came in 1/4 of an inch with each one of those layers. So now I want to do basically the same thing with my crosses, just layer them up. And I'm using the dark gray, the pink, and then the light gray. So we're just going to layer these up. Oops, that one doesn't need to do that. This one needs to do that. I really liked this gray and pink. Most of our homebound people are women. We do have a few men, but they're going to get a card with pink on it anyway. And some couples, so the wives we can claim it's kind of pink for the women. So there, got that. I cut these on my Cricut. I just found the cross I wanted and then offset it. I changed the size of the offset because it was offset a little more than what, not on my Cricut, on my Silhouette, excuse me. I just changed the size of the offset so that it wouldn't be quite as wide a offset as the just the default offset. It was a little wider than what I wanted. Made the cross too big to get it the way I wanted it to look. So we're going to set that on there. And I think I want it off-centered just a little. And then I'm going to build some like sprigs and things around it. But I want to go ahead and get that on some foam tape. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put 2 pieces of foam tape on here. But I'm not going to stick them both right now because I'm going to be sticking these little sprigs and things in under there. So I'm going to put this piece of foam tape right down here. And I've got this piece flipped back, so it'll be real easy to just barely lift up and pull it away. And then this piece up here kind of in the center, I'm going to go ahead and stick down so that I can begin to build my sprigs out from under it. So I think just a little off center, not too much. Maybe something about like that. Now I've got some sprigs cut out. I did dark gray and then a lighter gray and then just a little bit of the pink. Not going to put too terribly many on here, but I want to start building that base, I think, with this dark gray. I want it to look like it's coming out of the center. Everything's kind of originating the same place was my goal. And I'm going to start with this dark gray, and then I'm going to build the light gray on top of it. And then I'm going to maybe put just a little bit. I've got a pink one cut. I think I just barely want a little bit of pink coming out of there. And then maybe just a little bit of pink in there. So let's go ahead and put our dark gray down and then build off of that, because I'm pretty sure that this is kind of the foundation I want. I wanted some dark gray up here, but I want a little bit coming out down here to kind of track your eye all the way. And I'm going to build on this diagonal, but I want your eye to move across there. And I think that dark gray will help do that. So let's use a little bit of our liquid glue. I only want to just glue down the very bottom. I want the rest of this to be free. I don't want it to look like it's coming straight out of the top, but I do want it to, I want to build, whoa, come back here. That. There. Then let this one kind of come off over here a little bit, maybe. And then I'll put the lighter gray and the pink in between there. And this one right down here, kind of building that diagonal across there. Let's start with this bigger one. Maybe put it right up here. Tuck this one. Let's try this. Yep, I like that pretty good. See if we can kind of, this is looking kind of bare up there. That's not too bad. I think I want to put something actually on the cross. And I've got several options that we're going to do here. And then I think I want just a tiny little bit of pink in there. Let's try that. I think I'm going to go ahead and glue these down. Right in there. I don't know about y'all, but we were snowed or iced in, really in our area. It was ice. We had some snow, but it was mostly ice. The kids were out of school 5 days, and I came home last Sunday from church, parked my car, and it did not move until yesterday, Saturday. And I did have to go out. I had a funeral to go to yesterday that had been postponed because of the weather. And that was the first time my car had been started. So a week, my car sat there unstarted. My driveway was just a solid sheet of ice. All of my yard, everything. Just a solid sheet of ice. I wasn't about to go out in it. I loved it. I just had the fireplace. I mean, I could go out on my patio and get firewood and everything. I had the fireplace going. The dogs were all snuggled in around the fireplace. So it was really pretty nice. I think I'm going to take this one, and I'm actually going to snip it down and maybe build a little something here. Let's see what this looks like. I'm going to pretend this was intentional right here. Kind of just use this one little sprig here and see if I can just build just a little bit of interest right there. Should that be pink instead of gray? Let's see. Let's plug this pink in. I think I'm going to do the same thing with this, where it's not too big. Let's see if we can just maybe put this smaller one down here. Some tweezers here to move these around. I like that. I've got, I'm going to show you what, I've got some banners, like this one is Sympathy. Yeah, I think we're going to keep the gray, even though it really blends into the cross. I may ink it a little bit. This one is Sympathy. I've got that as a choice. I have this one which is the Easter one that we're actually using for church. He has overcome the world. And then I've also got, I thought just a blank one, like that. And then I have a little cross. I keep reaching across. I know I'm blocking y'all out when I do that. I've got this little cross. This is just a punch, I'll show you, that I actually thought I might put there on some. And then I have this little flower, just options to, that I kind of liked, even kind of liked that. So just some options to sort of give you options, and we would have options to do a little bit different where it doesn't, because I know some of you don't want any, don't want an Easter card, or maybe don't need a sympathy card or whatever, but it gives you some options. But I think the cross lends itself to Easter and a sympathy card. Oh, I was going to ink those edges before I did that because it's not really standing out very much. Not that ink in those little bitty leaves will make it really stand out, but it might give it a little bit of definition. So anyway, we were frozen in that whole time. My dogs loved it. They just laid in front of the fireplace, and I scrapped and did that kind of stuff. My little grandsons, my son-in-law and my son were out in it. You know, they drive in it. They don't care. But I didn't want to, so they brought my a couple of my grandsons over a couple of different times, and we watched movies, and they played their video games, and they did some crafting with me, especially, well, two of them actually really loved to craft, and one of them made the cutest, prettiest actually, scrapbook page. I don't have his pictures developed yet, but I'll try to remember at the end to show you the scrapbook page. And I mean, he did it on his own. I showed him how to tear some stuff and made a couple of suggestions, but I didn't do a single thing on that page, and I just thought it turned out so pretty. He was really proud of it. Sent his mom a picture of it. He was really proud of it. So there's that. And you saw the different options we had. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this one on there because that's the one we're actually going to use at church. And I'm going to put this up on a little bit of foam tape also. Let's see if that may be too wide. Maybe not. So that it stands out a little from all of that. Get it up on a little bit of foam tape. Give it a little bit more dimension, because I think that all, especially where you leave these edges where they are not, where everything's not glued down, you leave the leaves and everything open, I think it looks good. And I went ahead and I stamped this. I'm going to show you some stamps that I have. And let me just show you this right quick. This is a banner die cut that I have. It has the big one and the smaller one. So you can have a big banner. You can take the big banner, cut the little banner out of the middle, and then put your sentiment in there. Or you can just use the small banner, which is what I did. And then it has, I've got them in upside down, so I can't even read them, but, well, I can't get into this. It's a trick bag. It has several different sentiments in it. It has best wishes, happy birthday, love you, congratulations, thank you, to, from, love, get well soon, and with deepest sympathy, which is another one of the ones that I stamped just because I felt like the cross went well with the sympathy card. So that fits that banner, which makes it pretty nice. So I think I want that just across like that on this one. But like I said a while ago, I think you can do several options. I like the little cross. I like the cross with the flower in it. I think even a blank banner. And then you could do, and this is just a little cross punch that I think I got at probably Michael's or Hobby Lobby, I would imagine. But I think if you wanted to use the banner across there, you could do the little gray cross. I would definitely ink the edges and then do the little gray cross in the center. But I like that. But I think I want to, now that I'm looking at this, I think I may want to put a couple of rhinestones on there just to dress it up a little. So let me get a rhinestone, and then I think we're going to be finished. Let's see if I can get one. I've got some that are kind of gray looking. I don't know if you can, like those are just regular rhinestones, but these are grayish. I think that's what would look good on there. And these are in a row, but you can get them off and get them individually too. There's one. We'll do 3 around there somewhere. So let's just get the glob off the end of my glue. Let's just do 1, 2, 3. I have a jewel picker. I probably should have gotten that out. Whoops. I have to. Turn over. There. I like that. I like just that it dresses it up just a little. So a simple card, just some sprigs, 3-layer cross, 3-layer background, and you've got a very pretty card. Like I said, I think the Sympathy, especially with that cross, if you don't do an Easter card, is really good. But I like some of these other options. I think you could put that in the middle of that gray. I would definitely ink the edges of that little banner, but gives you some more options. Oh, and I was going to see if I could find, I don't know where his sheet is, to be real honest. I don't know what I did with it. I'll try to remember it in another video to show you his sheet, because his scrapbook page, because it just turned out so cute. So anyway, I hope you have and had a blessed day, and maybe you can get some ideas from this card and make your own card with something that we did here today. So just keep scrapping and keep happy and have a blessed day. See you later.